Welcome back to another edition of Whiteboard Wednesdays, and got a lot of great comments on the last presentation, so hopefully this one will deliver as well. The topic today is sales energy investment, essentially the energy we invest in the sales cycle. And I wanted us to think a little bit about how we spend our time and our energy across a particular sales process. So we'll start by just asking the question, how long is the sales cycle? How long does it take to close a deal? And in most cases, when I ask a client that, their answer is, well, it depends, of course, right? It depends. When you say, well, okay, what's the average? And you get a lot of fuzzy answers, but for the purposes of this conversation, let's just say it's 90 days, right? I personally don't believe, you can sell something and get a deal through all the process and logistics and all that stuff in under that. But a lot of companies really, it's more like 180 days possibly as well. So we started over here, and this is, we'll call this day one, where we have first contact with our prospect, and then we'll call this day 90, where we hopefully generate some revenue over here. All right, and this will represent our sales process as a whole. So one of the questions I'll ask is, from first contact, how quickly can we deliver on the things that customers need to make a buying decision? Discovery. We got to ask a lot of nice questions. We have to do a demo, and then of course, clients always want a proposal. And typically, the answer I get is somewhere around 2 weeks. Right? In fact, a lot of companies, many companies, pride themselves on being very responsive and being very, very able to meet clients' needs and desire for a proposal and all that kind of stuff. So we'll put the fact that we do a proposal over here as well. So we can be very responsive in this area. The question I ask after that is, what happens over here, right? So it's 2 weeks. We get all this other time and space. What's going on? And I think you know where this is going. We spend time following up. Right? We spend time checking in, and most of all, we spend time waiting. Draw us a little clock right here, right? And that's really a very frustrating part of the sales process. And in fact, if you think about it, from a management or a sales leadership point of view, all of this sales waiting time is reflecting the fact, my little funnel here, that we've got a lot of opportunities sitting here at the bottom of the funnel at what would be called a proposed stage that we really don't know what's going on. So how is this working for us? What are the pros and cons potentially of this scenario? Well, first of all, I'd like to point out the fact that if we get all this stuff done over here, right, this discovery, the proposal, the demo, we have to acknowledge that this is, in all reality, 70 to 80% of our total effort. Right? All the work, all the things we do in the sales process, that's probably 70 to 80% of it, maybe a little bit more. Following up may take a lot of time. Checking in may take a lot of time, but it's not necessarily time consuming. This is where the bulk of our work happens. The other thing I'll point out is that lots of things don't progress over to a closed one over on that side. Lots of opportunities fail. So obviously our goal over here is closed one, right? That's where we make our money. But lots of these opportunities end in closed lost, and could be for a variety of reasons. Could be because they bought from a competitor. Could be because the sales process simply stopped moving forward. Other things took their attention, and they were distracted. So fundamentally, one of the things we can point out is that the majority of our effort is actually spent on a significant number of opportunities, right? In a normal pipeline process, 70 to 80%, sometimes more, of the opportunities we work on never come to fruition. So a lot of energy, is spent right here on these folks. Well, what do we do about this? What's the problem? Well, a couple things. First of all, at this moment in time, at this line, what I like to think about is we have given the prospects all the info they need, right? They've got everything from us and don't have a whole lot of motivation to respond or keep us in the loop, etc. So we've got this misapportionment of energy to result. We also have this front loading of work, which in a lot of ways could contribute to poor leverage in the follow-up process. What do you do about it, right? How do we solve this problem is really the question that most people ask. How do we fix this, Townsend? One possibility, and it's actually not the one that's going to work, is can we get the deals to close faster? Can we compress? Can we make the sales cycle shorter? Right? And my belief on that is, in general, no. Right? It's not something in our control. Clients will buy, companies will buy based on their process, their need, and it's going to take how long it's going to take. There's obviously things we can do to drive urgency and create a timeline, but fundamentally, companies are going to take a certain amount of time to buy something, and we're not going to impact this area way too much. As I see it, the primary problem that we're dealing with here, right, and I've done a couple blog on this, is we're selling too fast. We are just rushing to get stuff done and compressing all our effort up front. So from a solution standpoint, I believe the only real option we have is we've got to figure out how to move this line. We've got to figure out how to extend or expand or prolong the amount of time it takes for us to get all the information on the table and make sure it is aligned to the probability of that sale. So one of the things I was trying to point out with this 80% of our efforts spent on 80% of the deals that don't close is that if you look at a pipeline and you think about probabilities of a pipeline, right, we might call this 0%, 20%, 50%, 80%. If we could avoid, say sending proposals out for prospects that were really at 20%, but we wanted to call them 80% as a proposal, they would naturally fall out of the funnel, and we would save time and energy. So really, the key to solving the problem is moving this line right here, moving this line of all of our effort and aligning that effort to the stages of the sales process and also customer investment, and not creating a gulf here, a gap where our only option, our only means of communication, the only thing we have to talk about is, hey, how's it going? Where's that deal at? Have you made a decision? Are you still considering, etc.? And kind of this no person's land over here. Anyway, I hope this gives you some stuff to think about in terms of how you approach selling, and maybe detunes some of the urgency that either you or your organization feels, with respect to getting a proposal out the door. Personally, I don't think companies should be in a rush to get a proposal, get pricing, or even do a demo. We want our customers' energy over time to align with our energy, and not having us front load that work we do in the sales process on a lot of these deals that don't close. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and look forward to your questions and your comments.